Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you buy Kroger brand products, you feel like you're winning. That's because they offer proven quality at lower than low prices. In fact, we guarantee that you and your family will love how Kroger brand products taste, or you get your money back. So next time you're shopping for the family, look for delicious Kroger brand products, because they'll make you all feel like you're winning. Shop now, in-store, or online. Bakers, fresh for everyone.
Escape to summer with Victoria's Secret's just-arrived collection of swim and other sun-ready silhouettes. Pack your bags with new styles from the Very Sexy collection, like the made-to-be-seen Very Sexy push-up bra in on-trend hues like green, citron, and black shine. Rewind to the future with the VS Archive swim collection, inspired by Victoria's Secret's classic looks from the 90s and early 2000s. Plus, mix and match with their wide range of bikini tops and bottoms to find your dream suit. Shop now at your closest Victoria's Secret store or online at victoriassecret.com.
Episode 406, The Psychology of Sales and Discounts.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast, where you'll learn to save money, embrace simplicity, and live a richer life. Here are your hosts, Jen and Jill.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast. My name is Jen.
My name is Jill.
And today we are talking about how sales cost you more. Hot take.
What, Jen?
Hot take.
No. The yellow and red stickers and the clearance sections always mean I'm smart and I'm saving.
Yes. We do love a good sale, but we also have to understand that sales are not for us. They are a marketing move. And so we're going to go through an article from like a marketer's perspective written to other marketers so that you can understand what's going on behind the scenes of these sales so that you can take advantage of them without getting taken advantage of.
We love those behind the scenes marketers. Like, we love to be the fly on the wall, like the little creeps. Like, what are you guys talking about? How can we use it to our benefit, not be bamboozled? We also sent you all a poll because, well, we're sending you the friend letter so that you all don't get bamboozled in other ways. And then we ask you questions that you can answer and interact with us. And we ask, what do you do when something is a good deal? And most of you, by a landslide, said, ask myself if it's something I really need. Others were buy it immediately. Others were do a quick search, see if you can find a better price elsewhere, or just walk away. There's always going to be good deals. So some of you are perfect.
No, I mean, this is the general consensus. Nobody's going to buy something that's on sale that they will absolutely never use. But it's the things that are on the edge, right? That it's like, oh, I could use that, or I have been thinking about that. And those are the things that we want you to think about when we go through these sales psychology techniques. So the next time that you're presented with something that's kind of on the edge, you can rethink and, again, not be perfect all the time, but if you can reduce the number of impulse buys that you make by like 50%, that's a really great start.
So that's what you all said. We're going to talk about what the internet has to say. But first, this episode is brought to you by your favorite things. Whether your favorite things include a beautiful day with no plans, nice weather outside, or a butter-fried hot dog followed by a stick of gum, we all have a little list of what brings us joy. And if you're looking for more things to add to that list, get the friend letter. We are sending you emails every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They're full of freebies and deals, deep dives on how to buy quality over quantity, budget toolkits, just all the stuff so you don't get bamboozled. And you also know if something's a good deal. frugalfriendspodcast.com/ nope, just frugalfriendspodcast.com. Just go there.
You go to frugalfriendspodcast.com/friendletter, but you can get it anywhere on frugalfriendspodcast.com.
It's what we're pushing.
And if anybody's worried about Jill's health with all of the butter and the hot dogs, know that she does drink a green smoothie every morning. So I think that counteracts it. I think she's going to be fine.
I think I like talking about hot dogs far more than I eat them. Okay. The last time I had a hot dog was a week and a half ago.
You're slipping.
I know. I got to get back on the hot dog.
All right. So if you are very interested in sales, we have a lot. We love sales. So we have episodes on how to take advantage of sales, like episode 391, best seasonal grocery sales. And then we also have episodes about impulse buying. So you can understand what's happening, like episode 378, the psychological reasons why we impulse buy. That's one of my favorite episodes, honestly. So cue those up to listen after. So today we are just focusing on sales and discounts. And we have one really great article. And it's, again, written for marketers. So that is the audience they're writing to. And we're going to look at it as consumers to say, what should we take away from the way these people are doing things? And it is from Namogu. Yeah, I don't know. It's called The Psychology of Discounts, 8 research-backed strategies for 2022. But they're still used in 2024.
Yeah, so they start off by talking about some research that was done on specifically discounts. So we've done deep dives before on marketing strategies, and discounts are a marketing strategy. But now we're kind of looking at specifically discounts and not kind of all of the different ways that marketers use to get us to spend. That there is specific things that draw us to wanting to spend when there's a discount present, sometimes more than just spending on something that we want to buy. So they reference this study where researchers uncovered specific psychological motivators that drew shoppers to certain types of promotions to encourage them to buy. Because when consumers find a good offer, it actually changes the way they think and feel about it. Anecdotally, I can say that that's true. Like, I definitely get excited in the clearance section more so than just the store itself. But then they go on to say that after participants in one study scored a major discount, it led to feelings of excitement, pleasure, happiness, other positive outcomes. And then another study confirmed these findings and determined that people who received a discount actually increased their levels of that feel-good hormone, oxytocin. And the spike in those positive feelings was higher post-discount than when they just received an outright gift, which is wild to me. So we sometimes can feel even more excited, elated, happy over scoring a deal that we've spent at least some money on than if someone were to give us a gift. And they also said that when those participants snagged the right coupon, they experienced less stress, their heart rates, perspiration, and respiration all decreased while feeling on average 11% happier. Now, one could take this study and say, well, then discounts are good for my health. Like, I should impulse buy.
Sales are good for
sales
me.
items because I'm going to be 11% happier and my heart rate is going to reduce. But I think that the better thing to take from this is to know that these marketers know this, and it's why they're advertising a sale. And spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about how chances are it's not actually a sale. They're like fabricating sales so that you are drawn to this, so that you can experience these things.
Yeah, I think it's really telling. Like, so on the topic of fabricated sales, in our book, we were writing about this, and I found
this was so interesting.
Yeah, from checkbook.org, from Consumers Checkbook. They did a study where they spent 33 weeks tracking sales prices at 24 major retailers. And we mentioned this study in our warehouse debate episode and whether a warehouse club really saves you money. But it tracks these 24 major retailers, and we're talking Walmart, Target, Amazon, and they wanted to know if the store's discount claims were really discounts or just attempts to mislead. And what they found is that usually it's misleading. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of those retailers, all the weeks except for 1 or 2, or every single week, the products that they looked at never went off sale. So the whole time, those products were on sale. And so in this misleading category, we've got Amazon, Gap, Banana Republic, Old Navy, Wayfair, Foot Locker, Nordstrom, Williams-Sonoma. And then the ones we got 3, 6, 9, 12 on the often misleading, which means like maybe half the time these products, and they tracked the same products over time, over these weeks, were on sale. And so on here we got Best Buy, Kohl's, Office Depot, Home Depot, Macy's, JCPenney. JCPenney has a great story about sales.
I love JCPenney's story. Are you going to tell it? Oh my
gosh. Yeah. So back in the, I think, early 2000s or 2010s, JCPenney did away with sales. Like, it was the backbone of their marketing strategy. And the CEO came in from Apple, of course, and he was like, we're doing away with sales. We're just going to do one fair, everyday, low price. Like, no more gimmicks. Let's just be straight with the people. And they hated it. Like,
the people hated it.
This CEO was fired less than a year and a half later because sales just tanked. People wanted sales because getting a deal makes you feel smarter. Just like what Jill was saying, it makes you feel like you are outsmarting like capitalism. And so we love getting a sale. Anytime we go out in public, like, and we speak like, as, you know, frugal friends, people come up to us after and they're like, oh, I got this shirt for like $3, or I thrifted this outfit, or they want to tell us about the deal they just got because it makes them feel smarter.
And they think that it's like what we're super into.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And so to know that for the vast majority of retailers and products, the sales are fabricated.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that it can't be a good deal. I think in my mind, I'm kind of arguing with myself going, well, sometimes there are good deals on Amazon, or I have gotten clothing in the long distant past from Kohl's. And it was like, yeah, I really did get that shirt for $3. That is less than what you can get a shirt for. But I think the key in that is those deals are always happening. You can always get a $3 shirt from Kohl's. And then that brings up a whole other issue of consumption and labor exploitation and you name it. That's not what we're talking about today. But it's not as if there aren't deals to be had or good prices that you're willing to spend on the things that you want, but being able to see through some of this to know, is it actually a good deal or not?
And the reason we brought this up on our Warehouse Club episode is because Costco was the only retailer that ran legitimate sales.
Oh, everybody
Apple was the only other one in the green, but it's because they ran no sales. So,
well, then, you know, if you're a student getting a discount on that MacBook, that's the only time you're ever going to get that discount.
Yeah. And Target was like 50% of the time it was in the yellow. So, but so all that to say is that we shouldn't feel as smart as we do when we take advantage of a sale. You're smart when you figure out what you value, spend on that, and say no to what you don't. That should be the true indicator. Well, that's not the true indicator of intelligence, but that's what should make you feel good
when it comes to spending.
When it comes to your spending. And so they have some statistics in this article about the discounts, saying that nearly 70% of millennials look for a deal before making a purchase. That's me, guilty.
Sure.
2/3 of people say they'd make a purchase if they had a coupon, regardless of whether they initially planned to buy something. So this is where sales get dangerous and discounts. 80% admit they'd try a new brand if it offered them a discount, and 48% of people will steer clear of brands that don't offer deals. JCPenney.
Wow. Yeah. They really tanked after that.
Yeah, that was
debacle.
That was I read on Reddit, a employee of JCPenney at the time referred to the customers like drug addicts.
Yeah.
That like could not get their drug. It was so extreme.
So as you can see, as a result of these statistics, companies will then use discounts in whatever way, shape, or form they want to in order to get you to buy because they know these things about us.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, y'all, it's Austin Hankwitz.
And I'm Janice Torres. We're the hosts of Mind the Business, small business success stories from iHeartMedia's Ruby Studio and Intuit QuickBooks. And we're back for season 2. Join us every other Thursday as we hear from entrepreneurs from every industry as they share their stories of inspiration and success. Here's a clip from a recent episode.
For me, it was simply if I can make just as much or a little bit more that I'm making in my full-time job, then I will pursue my solopreneurship full-time. I think that the hang-up for a lot of people who are trying to make that leap is not just the income threshold, but it's this idea of sustaining that income.
Check out Mind the Business, small business success stories for more incredible insights and lessons learned on how to turn your ideas into success from the small business owners who have done just that. Listen to Mind the Business, small business success stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Had enough of those supplements that leave you feeling nothing? Symbiotica is your solution to great-tasting, all-natural supplements that actually work. Crafted with premium plant-based ingredients, their products have no seed oils, fillers, or artificial nonsense. It's just pure goodness in every pouch. Try them out and actually feel the difference today. Visit Symbiotica.com and use code IHEART for 15% off plus free shipping on your subscription order. Again, that's 15% off plus free shipping on your subscription order. Go to Symbiotica.com. That's Symbiotika.com.
So now we want to talk about the specific marketing techniques that will be used around sales.
Yeah. So there's 8 in this article, but we're going to cover the 5 that we think you will see most often and why. So the first one is the rule of 100, also known as the dollar off versus percent discount. So what does science say about the rule of 100? A marketing professor and author of Contagious, Why Things Catch On, Jonah Berger, theorized and tested how people perceive a percentage discount versus a dollar off discount. And that's how he developed the rule of 100. And according to his research, a percentage discount is more appealing to consumers for items under $100. So 10% off a $50 sweater sounds better than giving them $5 off because the number 10 is bigger than the number 5, even though 10% of 50 is 5. The dollar off discount works better for items priced over $100. So on a $1,000 computer, people were more likely to buy when they received $200 off versus a $20 or 20% discount, even though 200 is 20% of 1,000, but 200 is bigger than 20. So when you're looking at discounts, this is just like a fun thing you can do. Whether you see the dollar amount or the percentage, figure out which number is bigger because the number advertised will intentionally be the bigger number when you're talking percent or dollar. And so you'll see this. Obviously, most of us are looking at items under $100. So we'll see more percentages off in our sales than we will see money. So price tag and what is displayed is definitely intentional when you're looking at sales.
The second one on here that I'll highlight is understanding and protecting perceived value. So when companies are looking to sell a product, if they can understand our perceived value, the consumers, and this is adjacent to a cognitive bias where we can see something and have a certain idea of like what that item should be worth. And so they were describing how with certain products, people want a deal on them, like blue jeans. People are going to be more apt to buy the jeans that have the highest discount. However, when it comes to luxury items, the opposite is true. That one study found that when luxury items are discounted, consumers will see them as inferior, maybe being out of season or less popular, making them less desirable, which is probably the reason Apple never puts their products on
That's
discount.
exactly why.
Is to protect their perceived value of the item. My takeaway from this as a spender, as a consumer, is don't worry about my perceived value. Like, get the MacBook pre-owned, like buy whatever luxury item that I want at a consignment store. Like if I have a value for the thing and I believe the thing is quality and will serve its purpose, then there are ways that I can still get a deal and get around the fact that some items never will go on sale.
Yeah, this is why in the Friendletter, we try to every couple weeks, we will do a deep dive on the quality of a certain product that is on sale for that month. So in the spring, when some like lawn equipment was on sale, we did a deep dive into lawnmowers so that these are the things you should be looking for in a quality lawnmower. Yes, the very expensive ones are going to have all of these things, but you can find less expensive ones that have most or all of these things and maybe not the brand name. But you also don't want to buy a cheap lawnmower that compromises on all these important factors just for price. And so when we say choose quality over affordable quality over cheap quantity, that's what we're talking about. We're looking for true value. So when you make a purchase, I mean, social media really does like promote this idea of brand value. But like, I think what started this series in the Friendletter was that I saw all of these social media videos about how these ceramic pans that were huge on social media, I don't know what the brand name was, but they were just absolute crap, like utter crap. In 2 years, they were basically unusable. And like, we've both had our stainless steel pans, different brands, not all clad, which is like the highest echelon of pans. I mean, we've had each of them for 10 years. So that's what really inspired us. Like, how can we get quality at an affordable price without, sacrificing anything, but not paying for the perceived brand value. So that's another thing. Just because a brand is all over social media doesn't mean it is actually valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one is the play on scarcity versus urgency mindset. So this is playing on another cognitive bias, loss aversion. So people, and this is like a famous study where they did, is it more painful to lose $10 than to miss out on an opportunity to gain $10? And by and large, it was more painful to people to lose $10. And that's because of loss aversion. And that is a way that sales play. They don't want you to feel like if you've missed something, if you had the opportunity to miss something. So flash sales create a sense of urgency. Buyers know deals will only be available for a limited time, so they need to take action and impulse buy. Or this is what we see even more than flash sales now: low stock, limited inventory. This creates scarcity mindset. And this isn't just a sales tactic anymore. This has become a brand strategy. So if you've ever heard of Supreme, the clothing brand, it is their entire sales strategy before they got bought out. Like they would release only a limited number of each piece and you had to get it like, and it was gone like in minutes. So this is not just a sales strategy anymore. It's an entire brand strategy, which I don't necessarily hate. Like it's definitely better for sustainability, but it is a marketing tactic. So I think knowing that sales come at least every year, but typically multiple times a year, when we are looking at our consumer reports, our account with all of the things that are on sale every year, and we click on something, it is very rare that we click on an item and it is only on sale once a year. It's usually on sale several times a year. The sales always come back, so you can always plan in advance if there's something you want. And nothing that you really need is going to never be available again. If you truly need it, it'll be available when you can afford it. And unless that is like time. Time is truly our only resource that is non-renewable, and then some natural resources, but those can typically be traded out for something else. So realize that your time is your only non-renewable resource. It takes time to work to pay for these things that you are buying on sale. So what's the true trade-off? And so if there is something that you truly value that is on a flash sale, I heard this on the radio. This DJ wanted to buy the Star Wars lightsaber because he loves Star Wars. It is something he truly values. And he obviously hadn't saved for it. He was like, should I buy it? Should I buy it? And I was like, I don't know, but I thought about it for a long time. And so here's my real world solution to flash sales of things that you actually do value. First, you can prepare for them if you're thinking about this now. You can have a sinking fund for a value. So if Disney is something you value and Star Wars falls in that, this guy was an annual pass holder at Disney. So you can have a sinking fund for Disney. That can include any food that you buy at the parks or merch you want to buy or memorabilia. That way, when something like this comes up, you can say, I would like to use my money on this. The next time I go to the park, I will just bring all my own food. I won't buy any food. So you can make that direct trade-off. If it is something that you have not saved for, then hopefully you have a spending plan and you can think, okay, what are things that are in my spending plan that I can give up this month, reincorporate next month, but I can give up this month in order to take advantage of this flash sale. So whether it's a couple date nights or a couple lunches at work or a combination of something, you can still take advantage of sales, but know that there's always a trade-off. If it's not time, then it can be the consumption of other goods. But just know there's always a trade-off.
Yeah. And if it's not worth those trade-offs, then there's your answer. You don't want it.
Yeah.
All right. The final one that I'm going to highlight is the power of free and how the use of that word will often get people to buy. They did a bunch of different studies. One example was that consumers viewed getting 50% more of something as better than saving 33%, even though the deal itself actually worked out the same mathematically. They wanted to feel like they were getting more for nothing rather than saving money. So this is us. They're talking about us. And so they are recommending to marketers to add the word free in wherever they can. Consider offering a free welcome gift, free shipping, free returns, free samples. Just the fact of seeing the word free can be what draws people to buy from that brand, especially if it's their first time. If we remember back to those statistics, I think it was something like 80% of people said that they were likely to buy from a new brand if the new brand offered discounts, and especially freebies. So again, be aware of this and calculate, well, what is the actual cost? Because you still are paying for something. Like free and BOGO is still you buying. Free shipping is still you buying. A free welcome gift is still you buying. So again, none of our values-based spending principles go out the window when it comes to this. Know that if they are saying free something, it's a tactic.
Yeah. And we still, again, love free. Every Monday in the Friendletter, we tell you where to get free food. And we try to make it 100% free, like no obligation free. But those become fewer and far between. So sometimes it is. And it's up to you to discern whether it's worth it for you to take advantage of that freebie marketing campaign. And again, on the topic of like the numbers, like seeing the numbers, the bigger numbers are what we like. I remember hearing a story about, I think it was Burger King tried to sell 1/3 pound burgers, and they did so much worse than the 1/4 pound burger, because even though 1/3 is bigger than 1/4, people would buy the 1/4 because the 4 is bigger than the 3.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's like back to grade school when people were like, the dime is smaller than the nickel. So
well, another like part of psychology is heuristics, like these mental shortcuts our brains take.
Yeah.
We see a bigger number and that's the one we go with. So it's almost like anchoring, like the that cognitive bias. We the first number we're presented with is the one we take, and 1/4 pounders were around first. And the 4 is bigger than the 3. So like, we're not dumb people, right? Our brain is using these shortcuts to save us energy. They're just shortcuts. The biases are shortcuts. But we have to question everything we think because shortcuts aren't always the best. Yeah. Like in every episode of, I think, Bluey, when the dad tries to take a shortcut, I think that was the show. And just ends up in the jungle. Maybe it's another kid's show, but like shortcuts are not always the way to go.
Nope.
No. So the last one I'll talk about on here is don't ask customers to do math. So that kind of like goes perfectly into this.
Because we don't know if 1/4 is bigger or smaller than 1/3.
No. But yeah, so they're just saying don't ask customers to do hard math because again, mental shortcuts are what we default to. So they're saying if you decide to discount a $15 item down to $10, people get that that's $5. But if you price an item at $14.99 down to $9.96, they may not as quickly realize they're getting $5 off. And in this case, more than $5. So you will see a lot of like easy math when it comes to discounts. And this is why is these mental shortcuts that our brain takes. Marketers and advertisers want to cater to those as much as possible.
Yeah. So armed with some of this knowledge about the psychology of discounts, you can be more aware of whether or not you're being bamboozled. Is it actually a deal? Does it actually fit within my values? Do I want this thing? And I think there are some ways that we can check that. Is it a deal? Bum, 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 our new game show.
Is it a deal?
So while there are some ways that you can check that, I think we can run through a couple of things. It's not a deal if you don't need it. So you're just going to be spending money on something you don't need and therefore not a deal. So that's definitely something to be asking yourself. Do I actually need this? Is it going to solve a problem for me? Is it something that I've been wanting?
Do I have something else that could do the same thing? And usually the answer is yes.
Oh, my grandfather would always get deals from CVS and they were always just junk, plastic junk, tons of candy that expired. Nobody ended up eating it. And I mean, even at like 11, I was like, Pop-Pops, this isn't a deal. Like, because no one's going to eat this. This is gross candy. No one likes taffy. It's not a deal if you don't have a current use for it. If it's one of those things of, but I might someday, and will I ever be able to come across this price? Yeah, probably. And you don't need to be storing that thing either, because then it just becomes clutter. So if you don't have an actual use for it right now, not a deal.
Same with procrastinating spending. If you see a sale on something like, and I always go back to like running shoes, if you're not already in a habit of running, buying running shoes is not going to put you into a habit of running.
Yeah. It's also not a deal if it's not in your spending plan. If you don't have a plan for it, or said another way, if you can't afford it, if the money not there, it's not a deal.
No deal.
It's not a deal.
Deal
this
or no deal?
Is a good game show, actually.
Is it a deal?
It's not a deal if the deals are happening year round.
No deal.
No deal. If it's always $2.99, no deal. I mean, Walmart does this, right? They're yellow stickers. Like their yellow stickers, I think a long, long time ago did mean a markdown price. And now it's just yellow stickers everywhere. The rollback, remember the rollback guy? Do they still do that? It's all being rolled back always and all the time.
I love the Black Friday like things where they will put up a Black Friday sign like it's on sale and somebody will take the sign away and behind it, same price.
Yes.
Same price.
No deal.
No
Same
deal.
price.
No deal. And a way, if you're online, that you can check if something is a deal, you can use Chrome extensions like CNET or Camel is a website for Amazon. Use those, track the price for the last 6 months, and see if what you're getting is actually a deal.
Do you know what is a deal? Because it's truly free for everybody.
It's a big deal.
It's the bill of the week.
That's right. It's time for the best minute of your entire week. Maybe a baby was born and his name is William. Maybe you paid off your mortgage. Maybe your car died and you're happy to not have to pay that bill anymore. Duck bills, Buffalo Bills, Bill Clinton. This is the bill of the week.
Hey, Jen and Jill. This is Amber from East Tennessee. My favorite bill of the week is actually my son broke his Xbox controller, and it was going through so many batteries, 2 batteries at least 1 to 2 times a week. It was driving me crazy. Batteries are pretty expensive, and he bought his own new Xbox controller, and it has a cord, so it doesn't even take batteries, and I'm extremely happy not to have to worry about buying stupid batteries every other week. That's what I got for you guys. Thanks, Jen and Jill.
Oh, Amber, I feel you with batteries. But then now every toy my sons have a cord. And it's like, if we did use every cord, it would be like 18 cords lined up, charging RC cars and controllers.
You need a power strip, just one big power strip.
Oh my gosh, it's insane.
You're still paying for it, but you're not needing to run out to the store for batteries. You're not paying as much
for it. You're just paying for it like with space.
Yeah.
You're paying with space.
Yeah.
But he can keep it in his room and deal with that space.
I'm so glad for you, Amber, especially because it did not skip past me when you said he bought his own new controller. And that's a good day. When your own kids are buying their own stuff, that's a deal.
That is a deal.
That's a good deal.
Save 100% of the things you don't buy for your kids. Yes. Parenting tip. Parenting hack.
If you all want to submit your bill of the week, if it is about not needing to buy any more friggin' batteries anymore, or your kids are buying their own stuff, or you actually found a deal, or you knew something was not a deal, sky's the limit. FrugalFriendsPodcast.com/bill. Leave us your bill.
Hey, y'all. It's Austin Hankwitz.
And I'm Janice Torres. We're the hosts of Mind the Business, small business success stories from iHeartMedia's Ruby Studio and Intuit QuickBooks. And we're back for season 2. Join us every other Thursday as we hear from entrepreneurs from every industry as they share their stories of inspiration and success. Here's a clip from a recent episode.
For me, it was simply, if I can make just as much or a little bit more that I'm making in my full-time job, then I will pursue my solopreneurship full-time. I think that the hang up for a lot of people who are trying to make that leap is not just the income threshold, but it's this idea of sustaining that income.
Check out Mind the Business, small business success stories for more incredible insights and lessons learned on how to turn your ideas into success from the small business owners who have done just that. Listen to Mind the Business, small business success stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Had enough of those supplements that leave you feeling nothing? Symbiotica is your solution to great-tasting, all-natural supplements that actually work. Crafted with premium plant-based ingredients, their products have no seed oils, fillers, or artificial nonsense. It's just pure goodness in every pouch. Try them out and actually feel the difference today. Visit Symbiotica.com and use code IHEART for 15% off plus free shipping on your subscription order. Again, that's 15% off plus free shipping on your subscription order. Go to Symbiotica.com. That's CYMBIOTIKA.com.
Friday, May 17th, the world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, is back at Liberty First Credit Union Arena. In the main event, a man tearing through the competition, Carlos Trinidad Snake, fights a warrior who hasn't tasted defeat since 2021, Dustin the Disciple Paig. In the co-main event, Dakota Cochran fights Jamie Hit'em Holloway. It's Bare Knuckle Fighting, no gloves allowed. Don't miss out on this adrenaline-fueled event. Get your tickets now at BKFC.com.
And now it's time for the lightning round. Pew, 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 pew. I just listened to a comedy special last night, and they said that they've never heard females do sound effects. That like little boys and dudes are always the ones doing sound effects. And I was like, false.
Wow.
False.
Who was this?
Because pew, pew. Neil Brennan.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Get him out of here.
Neil Brennan.
Yeah.
We're doing sound effects. Pew.
All right. For today's vulnerability round, what is the last good deal you passed up because you didn't need it?
Go for it, Jen.
Okay. For me, it was the Aldi aisle of shame. I actually did go in there for organizing things. It is my container store. And I got these beautiful glass containers and some plastic containers because we just redid our kitchen.
Yes.
And finally ready to organize it. And it was great. I saved a lot of money by getting my things at Aldi when they had them, something I waited for. And it's not a sale, but like I have price checked again and again and again. And the things in the Aldi aisle of shame, which is actually, I call it that. Many people call it that, but it's actually Aldi Finds. Yeah, it's actually Aldi Finds.
Wait till they just rebrand it entirely.
Aisle of shame.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have price checked over and over again, and the things not on sale in the Aldi Finds aisle are cheaper, less expensive than anything on sale at any other store.
Yeah.
And so there you go.
Is it a deal?
It is a deal.
It's a good deal.
It's not discounted or on sale, but it is a good deal.
But it's not a deal if you don't need it.
Right.
It's not a deal if it's not in your spending plan.
So in the end of the story, long story short, I went there for things that I bought, but then I saw extra things that I wanted. And then I got to the cash register and I just put them on top of the cooler. I was like, no.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Whoa. You had that gut check. How'd you feel after that when you made that decision?
Actually, one of the things I put back, I wish I'd bought.
You're going to go back.
But the rest of it, I'm glad I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't actually need it. It was it was aspirational buy.
Okay.
Like I wanted to buy it because I wanted to do the thing that I would use it for, but I don't
You're being
really.
so cryptic. Do you not want us to know what it was?
Well, I can't actually remember what it was.
Oh, okay.
And that's a great. I mean, that's a just
wait.
A
The thing you wish that you had bought, you now
no, I
don't
knew
remember.
the thing though. The thing I wish I'd bought was another, like a third set of those beautiful glass canisters. But then there was something else and I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
But I remember putting it down and being like, you know what? I don't have a habit of doing this yet. So I'm not going to, like, it is a good, price as compared to if I was going to buy it somewhere else. But I would rather pay more for it somewhere else when I know for a fact I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I'm sorry I'm not cryptic. I have a bad memory.
No, that's good. I just thought it was like, whoa, what were you going to try and buy at Aldi that you can't disclose?
I'll tell you later.
My version of a walk of shame is yard sales. And I'm whispering that. Yeah. Here's the thing. It's still enjoyable for me. And while I don't do it as often, I don't go to yard sales as often as I used to, I still like going to them when they kind of pop up and I happen to have a free Saturday morning. And that just happened for Eric and I this past weekend. And it was a whole neighborhood yard sale, which is especially fun because
the best.
You can just walk around and see what everybody's got. And this one was at St. Pete Beach. So it was all the homes on the water, and it was a beautiful Saturday.
A lot of nautical stuff, a lot of nautical home decor.
Surprisingly, no.
Oh, wow.
Like a lot of antiques, which felt really kind of out of place, like very heavy furniture, antique-y stuff. That's a whole other side tangent. I'm not going to go there. Okay. But this is my thing at yard sales is everything is a deal. Like, yes, everything is about 10 to 20% of its original value. So it's all a deal if you're solely looking at the math. Like, it is far less than you'd ever buy it new. But you would have to identify, again, is it real? Is it a deal for me? Is it for me, though? And there was one place that had a whole table of free stuff. Now, in my younger years, that would have been, open the trunk, babe.
In my younger years,
it is, but shovel it all in.
That's still Travis's years. It's a good thing he wasn't there because he's still in those years.
Baby,
open the trunk, babe.
Baby got back. We'll figure out a use and we'll learn how to value it. So,
wow.
They had yard torches. And that was interesting. I was intrigued.
Like tiki torches?
Nope. That would have been cool. I probably would have gotten those. Nope. They looked like big old things of incense, but kind of more in like candlestick forms. Would be like you shove this big old thing of wax into the yard, and then they would be just like this. They honestly looked like flares. They honestly looked like they should be a part of a survival kit. For like big island. You're on the big island and you're trying to get the plane to come get you. Anyways, I'm like, both of us are like, well, yeah, it's free. Like, you don't have to think about it that much. But we have found ourselves in this place where we are thinking about even the free stuff. And of course, the people are just like, just take it, just take it. But we passed up a lot of free stuff because we've realized, for me, I think the overarching piece is, do I just feel like storing this? Do I feel like dealing with it? I really like having a simple, no nonsense schedule and maintenance plan. And it just felt like, well, yeah, we have a yard, we hang out in our yard, but we mostly hang out in the screened-in porch. So what? I'm going to go outside of the screen. I'm going to shove these torches in to keep bugs away, but I'm already protected by the screen. Like, no, I don't need it.
Yeah. More is not the solution.
Right. Even if it's free, it kind of boggles me because it's just like, yeah, why wouldn't you take the free stuff? But I'm realizing that this whole journey of learning what I value actually is helping me to be like, I value not a lot of clutter and stuff I'm going to actually use.
Well, values-based spending transcends the money you spend, and it also permeates your time. So how much time am I going to spend figuring out where these things are going and then maintaining them and eventually getting rid of them? Because everything that goes into your house has an exit plan. It has an exit. So what kind of time do I want to invest in each thing that I buy? And you don't need to spend so much time putting stuff into your house, maintaining it, and then taking it out. if you don't have it.
It's a shift I never thought I'd make, but here we are. We're keeping the trunk closed.
Close the trunk, baby. Thank you for listening. We hope that this helps you pass up the next sale of something that you don't need. And if it does, please, please, please leave a rating and review of the show on Apple Podcasts and or Spotify. Like this one from Kelray 1982, titled Learning and Laughter. It happens to be 5 stars. We love those. These girls know their stuff and they crack me up. I've been off the Frugal bandwagon for a few years now, and they've helped me jump right back in with tips and anecdotes. And the best part is, they don't make me feel guilty for my financial errors, past or present.
Oh, thank you so much, Kelray.
Yeah, thank you, Kelray 1982.
It's a really kind review. We love all of our good reviews. Obviously, we read them and we read them back to you. That's how much we love them. So please, please, please do leave a rating and review. It really does help other listeners find us. It helps us. It's a free way that you can help us. It's a deal.
It's a deal.
That's a good free deal.
It's a deal that won't cost you a lot of time. And if there's something funny you want us to read on the show, then write it in a review and you may hear us embarrass ourselves by reading your name or review.
That
you can.
sounds
This
like
is
a
a way
threat
that
to us.
yeah, this is a way that you can hear something funny of your own doing out of our mouths. It's for you. Frugal Friends is produced by Eric Sirianni.
Okay, Jen. Deal adjacent. Yeah, deals.
Dills.
And impulse purchases. Do you remember we have talked so much about my biggest impulse purchase on a spiral staircase that Eric got off of Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, longtime listeners will remember the spiral staircase from
Eric,
Facebook Marketplace.
We had previously had central air, and then that pooped out on us 2 weeks after moving to Florida in August. And it was a hot summer until we got mini splits. But anyways, that left a concrete pad outside, and Eric was like, let's put a spiral staircase on that concrete pad to the roof. Found a spiral staircase on Facebook Marketplace. It just kind of popped up, and he didn't think I'd say yes. I did say yes. And we've had that spiral staircase here for about 4 years.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, at least 3.5.
Yeah, at least 3.5. Yeah, something like that. It was an impulse purchase I was willing to buy. There was nothing on the roof. Guests would come over, we're like, where's the spiral staircase go? We're just like, to the roof. That's it.
To the roof.
Why not?
To the roof.
And then we were inspected by our insurance company. They were doing that to a lot of people in Florida. They're trying to drop people, really. We've had too many storms. And they wanted us to get rid of the spiral staircase, or they were going to drop our insurance coverage.
Yeah, they're making everybody do something, like, or they'll drop them. It's
They
bad
did
down here.
offer us the option of putting a handrail around the entire perimeter of the roof. But even still, they said, then we're still going to drop you, and you got to go with this other insurance company that's $1,000 more a year. And I had to realize that the spiral staircase is not worth $1,000 a year to me, plus the cost of a handrail. So we sold it. But
R.I.P.
silver lining, we bought it for $500 and we sold it for $500.
Praise.
Praise hands.
Yes, praise hands.
Although it is so sad, the room that you and I record in, Jen, we look out the window and we used to see the spiral staircase out that window, and now we just see cobwebs.
Well, you face the spiral staircase. I face your beautiful trees in your patio.
Oh, that's true.
So now I'm looking at it, but RIP, we'll have to find something else to put on the slab.
And there you go. That's a reason to not impulse buy, because eventually one day the insurance company is going to take it from you.
But it is a great example of how you saw something that you want, and impulse buying isn't the enemy. You impulse bought it, but you sacrificed other things in the short term to justify that purchase. So because you valued the spiral staircase, and we all did. We all valued it.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P. spiral staircase.
When you have health insurance, it's easy to forget about your out-of-pocket costs. That can be a lot of money. But are your bills accurate? It's estimated over 50% of medical bills contain errors. HealthLock can help. HealthLock technology securely connects with your insurance and flags any overbilling, wrong codes, and fraud. You can even have HealthLock work on your behalf to get money back from select past bills. To date, HealthLock has helped its members save over $130 million. To save, visit healthlock.com today.
Friday, May 17th, the world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, is back at Liberty First Credit Union Arena. In the main event, a man tearing through the competition, Carlos Trinidad Snake, fights a warrior who hasn't tasted defeat since 2021, Dustin the Disciple Paig. In the co-main event, Dakota Cochran fights Jamie Hit'em Holloway. It's bare knuckle fighting, no gloves allowed. Don't miss out on this adrenaline-fueled event. Get your tickets now at bkfc.com.
Nobody wants to outlive their money, but it happens, especially for women. That's why Gainbridge offers the Parity Flex annuity, designed for women's unique retirement needs, with flexible withdrawals plus a guaranteed lifetime income benefit that keeps paying you even if your account balance is zero. Gainbridge is helping build a better financial future for women. Retirement income you can't outlive is the ultimate flex. Start saving now at Gainbridge.io. Visit Gainbridge.io/ParityFlex for current rates, full product disclosures and disclaimers, and other important information.